New details at 5 on that chemical fire at a Huntsville business. It's a story we first told you about as breaking news last night at 6. Firefighters responded to that scene on Orchard Street off Oakwood Avenue. Way 31 learned today Huntsville Fire and Rescue believe their firefighters were exposed to hydrochloric acid and nitric acid. Way 31's Sydney Martin is live tonight where that fire happened and learned crews not only work to put out the fire, but also to ensure your safety by monitoring the air quality due to those chemicals. Sydney?
Dan, Huntsville Fire and Rescue Chief Mac McFarland told me that the department has plans with businesses throughout the city, and those plans include what type of chemicals are inside this local metal plating business. I'm told while firefighters worked to put out the flames, others were focused on the air, making sure neighborhoods didn't need to be evacuated.
Several issues that we're going to deal with. We're dealing with acids, but we also, again, got to deal with the fumes. We're concerned about fumes, especially if it's boiling off. If it's involved in the fire, we're dealing with fumes then. That all kind of issues from can be toxic to can be corrosive. We're dealing with those type of issues.
That's what Chief Mac McFarland told me his firefighters faced when they entered a metal plating business in Huntsville on Tuesday. McFarland explained the firefighters have turnout gear to wear into the fires and also gear to wear for hazmat situations, but no type of gear that protects them when the situations are combined. 6 firefighters entered the building initially and were taken to the hospital as a precaution. 2 employees were also transported because they tried to put out the fire with no protection.
So some of the employees that tried to extinguish the fire, they tried to extinguish the fire, but it was more than they could put out. So there was concern for their exposure too.
But the reach of the smoke had the department working to make sure the neighborhood was safe.
We were monitoring in the fire building, we were monitoring outside the fire building, and we actually had units that drove some of the streets in the neighboring streets to make sure that any drift, that we weren't getting anything that's toxic into the neighborhood over there.
People living in the area didn't want to go on camera, but told me Huntsville Fire and Rescue asked them to stay inside while they worked to put out the fire. And McFarland credited the continuous hazmat training the entire department undergoes to keeping everyone safe.
It was handled real well, real quickly, real efficiently too. If the situation was out of control, with different type of chemicals or bigger fires or more of them, you know, we could actually have a situation where we actually had to start evacuating blocks.
What happened leading up to the fire is still under investigation tonight. Live in Huntsville, Sydney Martin, Way 31 News.
Thanks.